Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Can you believe the week is almost done?
Can you believe we're into December?
I know, December 4th. How did that happen? Coming up here, we're going to be chatting with somebody as we get into the holidays. Have you ever heard the bit of trivia that the closer you get to the holidays, the more suicide there is? Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that.
I heard that
theory.
too. And I reached out to a young lady that's got a couple of books about this topic. And first thing she did is dispelled that myth. She's like, that's not true. That's not the highest. So we're going to find out when that is exactly. But we're also going to be chatting with her about suicide prevention and some things you can do if you know somebody that maybe is kind of blue this time of year. She's got some really cool books. Nancy Virden will be our guest later in the program. And listen to this. If the world population consumed as much as the average American, we would need 5 times more resources for the Earth to survive.
Oh.
So we eat a lot more than the rest of the world.
Wow.
They eat quite a bit less in other parts of the world. I think we probably have more leftovers after our meal is done than a lot of people eat in the world.
I think that's accurate.
Kind of crazy. Speaking of leftovers, hopefully they're all gone. Thanksgiving was over a week ago, so get them out of there. Coming up, we got some special things we'll tell you about. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, December the 4th, means today is Faux Fur Friday. It's just fun to say. Faux Fur Friday.
I don't think I have any faux fur.
I don't have any faux fur either, but if I had some faux fur today, I would wear my faux fur on Faux Fur Friday. It is also National Dice Day. It's National Cookie Day. Ooh. National Salesperson Day. And World Wildlife Conservation Day. You know how I'm going to celebrate? I'm going to have some cookies with a salesperson wearing faux fur.
There you go.
Maybe we'll roll the dice while we're doing it, too. Anyway, get out there and celebrate on this special day. It is Friday, the 4th day of December.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A Protestant minister has been suspended from his church because he doesn't believe in Christ or Christmas.
How did he? You'd think that would have been on the questionnaire when they were hiring him.
You'd think so. Something from the What Were You Thinking files. An Irish Protestant minister who does not believe in Christmas or that Jesus was the Son of God has been suspended from his duties as a minister for 3 months to, quote, reflect on his statements. Imagine the reaction on the faces of Andrew Furlong's congregation when the unconventional viewpoint surfaced, not in the church itself, but in some articles published on his website for the entire world to see.
Oh, my goodness.
On his website. Again, he's a pastor of a church. He said, I don't believe the traditional understanding of Christmas, or I don't believe the traditional understanding of Christmas. He says that God took human form and was born as a babe in Bethlehem. Furlong was ordained in the Anglican Church of Ireland, and he says that he has held his unorthodox belief for more than 30 years, but has not shared them previously with his parishioners. So what does he believe happened then?
Why does he even do that for a living?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure because if you read the Bible, it's pretty darn clear. And it's in every single version of in the New Testament, every version of the gospel, they all tell the story. My favorite is the Luke version, but everybody's got their own version. And every single version, it's the same story. So I'm not sure what it is that this guy believed. But he might want to choose a different line of work if that is what he believes. And I'm not saying he needs to change his way of thinking. If that's what you believe what you believe. I'm not here to tell you otherwise. As for me, I believe that Jesus was the Son of God, so I'm gonna stick by that. So interesting that he happened to take that particular career path when he had those beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's the part that makes you just wonder. Anyway, it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. What do convicted drunk drivers in Ireland and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer have in common?
What's that?
The answer is obvious, but it's not what you might think. People convicted of driving under the influence in Ireland will soon be punished by having their noses painted red for the duration of their sentence.
Okay.
Lawmakers say red noses send a message that drinking and driving will not be tolerated. Plus, they say it'd be a good dose of public humiliation for people who are repeat offenders of drunk driving. If you have to walk around with a red nose everywhere you go, they said that'll do the drunk drivers a world of good to be able to be shamed into quitting. So if you got to walk around wearing a clown nose or a painted red nose, they're thinking that might help. You know, the fact that it's, deadly and dangerous, that should help too. But
they should go with purple.
Why purple?
Because a lot of the really bad drunks have purple noses already.
Would you just...
They wouldn't even have to use paint.
Don't even go there.
I'm just saying, it would save some people a lot of time in the morning.
I shouldn't have asked. When I saw that smirk, I knew I should have just... Moving on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Trying to protect deer on the highway ends up as a moment of duh in New York. Have you ever run into a deer with your car?
No.
I have with your car.
Yes, you have with my car, but I have not.
But it happens quite often, and it happens a lot in this particular area in New York. Now, to prevent this from happening anymore, they said they're going to put the New York State Thruway Authority put up an 8-foot sign near Rochester saying, "Be alert, attack deer next 10 miles." Meanwhile, the Thruway has been fielding calls from residents who are upset about the words attack deer. They've been reminding authorities how gentle Bambi was. The moment of duh was New Yorkers thinking that an animated talking deer somehow represents reality. But the other moment of duh is the fact that the Thruway has now agreed to change the signs. They were thinking that they would get more attention if it said attack deer, be alert, attack deer. People go, ooh, I better be on the lookout for these deer. They're dangerous. But they put up signs that literally said, be alert, attack deer next 10 miles.
I've never heard of an attack deer.
There is no attack deer. That's the joke.
Well, it's not funny. It's stupid.
And it became the moment of duh for that very reason. Moving on. Your scoop of the day is coming up.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Here's one from the bizarre files. Airport authorities in China caught a woman trying to sneak a knife through the checkpoint by concealing the knife in her hair. When she was caught, they said, "Why are you trying to take a knife on the airplane?" She said, "Well, I just wanted to use it to peel fruit while I'm waiting for my flight." Well, of course. Never mind then. All right,
Take an apple, sweetie.
Yeah. Some fans of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are not happy about the holiday version of the product that advertised being shaped like a Christmas tree rather than traditional cups. But instead of a tree shape, the peanut butter-filled chocolate appears. Fans say it looks more like a huge blob. Like, it doesn't even look like a tree. Why do you say it's shaped like a tree? It's just this big, goofy blob. So shape it like a tree or don't call it a tree. Has there ever been
Don't you wish your life was that meaningless that that's
nothing
the sort
better
of
to
thing
do?
you could get upset
Dear
about?
Reese's, recently bought one of your trees.
I am so upset.
I'm angry with you. That person listening that did it is mad at us now. Dear John and Heidi, I am angry with you. All right. Has there ever been a major holiday more focused on materialism than what Christmas has turned into? This year, Americans are planning to spend how much, do you think, on Christmas gifts, Heidi?
Too darn much.
Yeah, an average of $830, which represents a jump in over $110 since last year's $720. Our incomes have not gone up accordingly. In fact, real median household incomes in the U.S. are experienced a long-term decline. So, for us to get all the funds that we're spending on Christmas,
Everybody's using credit cards.
We're going to go even into more debt, which
That's
is a
ridiculous.
bad idea. Hey, if you're a thief, take note. Well, first of all, if you're a thief, can you imagine any thieves listening to this program?
Probably.
Yeah, because we always talk about how dumb they are, so probably not. But if you are a thief, your days of stealing baby Jesus from your town's nativity scene are coming to an end. Makers of nativity scene characters say they're getting more requests each year for GPS-equipped baby Jesus.
That is actually a great idea.
3 wise men and nativity animals.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Don't let people know that it's in there. Sneak it in there. Let them steal it and then go catch them. That'd be even better. All right. An international survey by Harlequin Romances found that women say the most attractive trait in a man is what, Heidi?
His smile.
Is sense of humor. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm so hot. And because I'm wearing this sweater. I think that's mainly what it is. Hey, new researchers give clear proof that weight loss surgery can reverse and possibly cure diabetes. Doctors say the operation should be offered sooner to more people with the disease, not as a last resort. The 2 studies are the first to compare stomach-reducing operations to medicines alone for it says diabesity. What is that? Type 2 diabetes. Okay, brought on by obesity. I've never seen that word before. Millions of Americans have this, and they can't make enough insulin for what they take in to process the sugar from the food. Both studies found that the surgery helped far more patients achieve normal blood sugar levels than medicine alone. The results were dramatic. Some people were able to stop taking insulin, Heidi, as soon as 3 days after their operations.
Oh, that's cool.
It says here cholesterol and other heart risk factors are greatly improved as well. So they're saying, you know what? It may not be perfect, but it's working pretty darn good. So if you have you ever heard of diabesity?
No.
Nor have I. It's apparently diabetes and obesity jammed together, but it's a type 2 diabetes brought on by obesity. So they're saying that's the one that it fixes. That's the one that it helps. All right, let's move on with our strange law. Arizona requires citizens to register with the state before going into the business of selling cocaine, marijuana, heroin, or other illegal drugs. Did we just read this, or is this a different state? We just read one of these.
Idea.
I don't know if this Arizona
they all
is this one.
kind of blur together for me.
I think at this point of the program, you're usually taking a nap. So,
and I am super tired today.
I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, that's your strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest on the line right now. We have Nancy Virden. Nancy is an author. She's got several different books. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about all 3 of them. But the most important thing is we're going to talk about what these books all have in common. First of all, Nancy, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
We're really glad to have you here. And I'm really hoping that our conversation today can make a difference in the life of someone. Doesn't matter if it's one person or hundreds of people, but if it can make a difference in the life of someone, then I think that this was time well spent. Now, your first book that you put out, what was the name of the first book?
It's titled Called to Live, A Chronicle of Recovery After Attempted Suicide.
So the first book was Called to Live. Then the second one is They Were Real. And then the most recent one is Always the Fight.
Always the Fight.
But all 3 of these books are the common theme is that there's something worth living for, isn't there?
You know what? That might be a common theme. They Were Real is a fictionalized accounts of Bible characters where I inserted their emotions and thoughts that the Bible doesn't necessarily explain. So you might even broaden that commonality to emotions and struggling with things that seem overwhelming.
I've heard numerous times where they talk about suicide and attempted suicide, that it's highest during the holidays. And you told me that that's not necessarily true. It is higher during the holidays, but the highest time is when?
Spring, believe it or not.
Wow, that is crazy. If this is something that's ever crossed your mind, first of all, we need to make sure that you know that doesn't make you, a freak. There are a lot of people that think this. But what
oh my goodness, yeah.
What you need to understand is that is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And now you had gone through this, and that's after you had gone through this and realized that, wow, it's actually kind of worth being here. That's when you decided, I'm going to do something to let other people know. And the book Called to Live, how long did it take to put that book together?
Well, I actually wrote it in real time. So it took a year. It covers 1 year of my life. When I was in the hospital, just out of the emergency room, a psychiatrist handed me a journal and told me to write. And I did. After that, it started to become a compulsion to write. I just felt not compulsion in the sense that I was out of control, but just compelled to write. It was like I just needed to put this out. And the book is actually what transcribed from that journal. So it's a picture of a major depressive episode as it's unfolding.
This isn't by any means a new thing. This is, people have been doing that for years. You know, you talk about even all the way back into the Bible, 2,000 years ago. With social media, it's really scary the time that we live in. You know, I remember when Robin Williams took his life about a little over a year ago. There were other people who saw this guy that was, such a happy, cheerful guy, but they didn't realize the struggle that he had within his life. And I know that there were other people who saw what he did and they thought, well, that's the answer, and they did it too. That's not the answer. It's never the answer.
It's not the answer. Everything that we see in front of us is really our perception. And what I've discovered is that hope is always there. Sometimes it's hiding, though. And it's hiding behind our oppressive memories, our fears, our trauma, and we don't see it, but it's there.
Yeah.
So as we work through the process of removing those other things, and it can take some time, but as we're patient, we can realize that the hope has always been there, and there's a real reason for us to be alive.
That reminds me of a movie that is very popular this time of year. It's called It's a Wonderful Life, and it just recently had a chance to watch that movie. And in the movie, George Bailey, he's kind of at the end of his rope. This guy is going through probably his darkest day that he's ever gone through. And at a scene in the movie, he's literally standing on a bridge looking over, and that's when he's going, I'm going to just end it all. And that's when Clarence, the angel, everything that happened in the movie, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. It's on like 24 hours straight during the holidays. He had the chance to see what his life had meant, not just to him, but to all the people around him. And what a gift that would be for all of us to know what a difference we make. Because even if you think you're insignificant, you think you don't make a difference, I guarantee you make a huge difference to somebody. This time of year is a great time of year for people to maybe make a call to a friend that they think might be alone and just say, hey, come and join us. Come be a part of what we're doing.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear more people saying to each other, I'm just glad you're alive, We rarely say that to somebody. We're glad when they do something for us. But just to say, I'm so glad you're here. You matter. If
somebody would like to get a copy of one of your books or all three of your books, how do they go about getting those? Are they available in bookstores? Do I buy them online? Where do I find them, Nancy?
Probably the easiest two places to find them, three I should say, are Tate Publishing. That's the publisher, TATEpublishing.com, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble, also online. Those are the easiest routes probably. But if you can message me or contact me, and the information is on my website how to do that. Right now, through this weekend and into the holidays a little bit, I will be offering books straight from me for 50% off. The other stores can't do that. So I can offer them 50% off and a little nominal shipping and handling fee. It's roughly $2 a book. More than happy to offer those. We're
going to make sure to give your website here at the end of the interview as well. But I'm going to make sure we say the titles of these books if you're looking and you want to find them. Again, the books are called, the first one that you had written is called Called to Live, and then the second is They Were Real, and the second edition of Always the Fight came out earlier this year. So again, those are the three books. If you're looking by author and you're trying to find the author, Nancy Virden is the author, and that's who we've been chatting with. And Nancy's website, if you want to go directly to her website is NancyVirden.com, NancyVirden. Nancy, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and I know you're making a huge difference in the lives of many people, so thanks for doing that.
Oh, yes, it's a real thrill. It honestly is.
We're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you took some time to chat with us to hopefully make a difference.
Thank you.
Again, NancyVirden.com, NancyVirden.com. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that?
Men are 5 times more likely to be hit by lightning than women. You know why that is?
Well, first of all, that is a fun fact.
That
but
is
no,
a fun fact.
Why is that?
This is not written down, but I can tell you I know why that is. Women are smart enough to come in out of the rain. That's why that is. It's raining. Men are like, I'm going to go outside and practice my golf swing. What? No. You don't have time for that. I'll go up and adjust the antenna instead. How's that sound? All right. A recent survey shows U.S. bond markets are still a mystery to most Americans. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that, and I don't know anything about the bond market
I don't know
either.
what we're talking about.
One other fun fact for you. A study found that fish in Washington's Spokane River have an extremely high concentration of toxic flame retardant. You'd think that.
How would they find that out?
I don't know. Somebody was
Throwing
trying
fish in the fire?
Somebody was trying to light a fish on fire, apparently. I'm not exactly sure.
Wow.
But that's in Washington's Spokane River. Some fun facts for you right here on a Friday on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
All right, Heidi, I have some tips for singles on how to reduce holiday dating stress. You ready for this?
Sure.
All right, neither one of us are single. When's the last time we went on a date, by the way? We should
It's been
do
a
that.
while.
We should go on a date one of these nights.
We should go on a date.
Maybe tonight. It's Friday night. What the heck? All right, Great Expectations dating expert Robert Fisher offers some tips for singles. Number one, stop, think, and plan. Many professionals have an implementation calendar at work. They need one for their personal lives, too. They're saying plan it out. You're going to be sitting home alone if you don't plan on going out and doing something. Next, take time for a reconnaissance date. It says an important office or family holiday function is a wrong place for a first date. Go on a reconnaissance date first. Like take them out and see if they can carry a conversation and, if they're awkward or if they can't handle like eating without making a mess all over the table or whatever. Thinking of our son right there. So I'm just saying, they're saying do a practice date before you bring them home to meet the family. Next one, hold your horses. It's natural to want to do some what-if thinking when you meet somebody new, but pull in the reins. There's no better time to get wound up in stuff than at Christmas time when all of a sudden that gift turns into we've been dating for 2 weeks, but now it's like super-duper serious. And last but not least, go easy on the spirits. Holiday parties tend to have holiday spirits, and if you go to a party with somebody you don't know very well and have a little too much to drink, some goofy things might happen. You end up getting married. How long have we been married now, Heidi?
16 years.
Yeah, so you get 16 years later, you can look back and say, what was I thinking? I'm just kidding. We didn't meet at a holiday party. But there are some fun little tips for you. If you'd like to know more, Robert Fisher is the one that offers those tips from Great Expectations dating service or dating. I don't know. It says he's a dating expert. I'm not sure. I'm not a dating expert. I'm not even a dating novice. I'm not good at that kind of thing. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Swiss. Apparently, they're worried about their image. We're going to tell you all about that on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
When you think of Switzerland and the Swiss, what's the first thing you think of? First thing.
Guns.
You think of guns when you think of Switzerland?
Yes, Switzerland automatically gives each citizen a weapon when they are of age. They give them a nice big weapon.
No kidding?
Yes, they do.
I thought they were I thought they'd get them maybe a Swiss Army knife.
No, they're very pro.
First thing I think of is, I'm not going to lie, Swiss Miss chocolate, hot chocolate, Swiss cake rolls, that kind of thing.
those too.
Well, they've just launched a multi-million-dollar campaign to change their perception. They don't want people to think of chocolate and cuckoo clocks and boring bankers.
They want people to think of guns.
The Swiss Presence campaign will initially be aimed at Britain and America, including programs that invite visitors from education and culture and media. Oh, maybe we can go to come and see what Switzerland is really like. A spokesperson for the project says Switzerland is more than just cows and chocolate, bankers and watches. We want to present it to the world as the multifaceted land combining tradition and modern and innovation and humanity that we are.
I'd go to Switzerland.
So, hey, Switzerland, if you're listening, hook us up, man. We'll come over there.
That's right.
We'll
tell
do a story.
People
how awesome it is. And I want some of that chocolate you don't want people thinking about.
They do have amazing chocolate.
Well, don't say that. That's not what they want to get out there. We'll talk about the other stuff, I promise. All right, we got a couple of blondes in a metal shop, and it's a true story on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
I grew up in a family full of people with blonde hair, myself included. I have blonde hair, so I'm not one to tell blonde jokes, but this is a true story. And if you're offended by blonde jokes, this is not a blonde joke. It's a true story. And it's a blonde woman in Brazil, a worker there, Andrea Aloisa da Sevilla, says that she's not a dumb blonde. She's been described numerous times by her boss as a dumb blonde, so she sued him.
That's
She
not
won
nice.
$1,300 in moral damages. Is it really worth it?
Was it even worth? How much were the attorney fees?
She was also got the recognition that she was unduly fired, which paved the way for more compensation. A spokesperson says, it is unprecedented decision on moral damages for blondes. The judge determined that the term dumb blonde violated the dignity of the employee.
That's true. That's
Andrea's
not
boss
nice.
is appealing the ruling. So the boss is saying, hey, I'm not done yet. I'm going to continue to offend people as long as I possibly can. So, yeah, he got in trouble. He was referring to them as a dumb blonde. And she won, sadly, only $1,300.
Yeah,
so again, it's probably most likely had to pay more than that to get the attorney.
Right.
All right. Coming up, we've got the authorities on the lookout. We'll tell you what's going on here in just a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Very bizarre story here from New York. Very bizarre story. Authorities are searching for a new mom after she left her newborn with his umbilical cord still attached in a manger at a New York church.
I heard about this.
Holy
is just
Child
awful.
Jesus Church in the borough of Queens on Monday. So this is Monday of this week, I believe. Custodian heard crying and found a crying infant wrapped in towels in the indoor. It was the indoor nativity scene, thank goodness, that he had set up just before his lunch break. Paramedics took the healthy baby to Jamaica Hospital. Police are investigating the incident. Under New York state law, a parent may abandon a newborn anonymously at certain designated safe haven locations as long as the baby is handed over to an appropriate person. You don't just leave the baby.
Just leave it in a manger. Yeah.
So
she may be in trouble.
It's you know what they need to do is they need to let her know, come forward. We want to, we're not going to press charges, but we certainly want to know who you are. We want to know, so they can hopefully educate the person, because you don't do that. I don't think that I don't know. I think it's a bad idea to say, we're going to find you, we're going to hunt you down, and we're going to fine you, because then that person's not going to come forward. But I think if they say, hey, come forward, let's do this the right way, and get the word out that there is a right way. And adoption, and there are people out there that are praying right now, this very second. I guarantee you there's somebody in this world
that would love that baby,
that has their hands together praying for a child. And that is a gift this time of year that somebody would absolutely love. I mean,
right.
It would be an amazing gift. So do it the right way. Again, that's an interesting story. That came from Queens, New York, and it was, again, at the Holy Child Jesus Church. What an amazing name for the church for this particular event to happen. So there you go. Coming up, got something positive. We always try to end with some good news. That is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
All right, we search high and we search low. We always try to find something positive to end this program, and I figured I was actually going to read this one earlier this week, and I forgot to. So I'm doing it today, because if I do it any later than today, it's going to be old news. It's already a week old.
Okay.
Cooking Thanksgiving dinner on Earth takes hours, but how long does it take in the International Space Station? Not quite so long. Astronauts last Thursday had a completely different process for getting their traditional meal ready. NASA released a video last week showing what it's like for astronauts to cook turkey in space. You ever thought of that?
They don't get to cook a whole turkey.
Well,
it's like a turkey TV dinner,
I
isn't
never ever thought of it before, which is why I wanted to share this. And like I said, I had this for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and I always had something else bump it. And I said, today I'm going to share this, otherwise it's going to get thrown away until next year. Instead of ovens and deep fryers, astronauts fill a packet of dehydrated turkey with hot water, and they leave it set aside while the meat rehydrates.
Ew.
Thursday of last week, so just over a week ago, American astronaut Scott Kelly, who is currently spending a year in space, and his American coworker dined on candied yams, cornbread dressing, and other classic Thanksgiving fixins that were all rehydrated with hot water.
I can't imagine that would be. I don't know. Maybe it's amazing.
It would be really cool if you could buy that just to try it, because I would do that. I'd go on and buy some of that food just to see what it even tastes like. Would you?
I don't know.
I would. I definitely would.
I don't know that I would.
To eat like an astronaut. Probably wouldn't do it a lot, but I'd like to at least try it once. So there you go. That was our good news. That was positive. I thought that was kind of a neat thing, that even though they're in outer space, they still get to have a little Thanksgiving meal. That's kind of neat.
That is neat.
All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Come and join us again next week. We'll be right back here, and I hope you will too.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. And when you go there, you're going to find all kinds of awesome stuff like, I don't know, mainly razors. That's kind of what they do. Mainly razors. But they do other stuff, too. There's a lot of other things. Now, the only thing I get is the razors. And it's not because I think I'm too good for the other stuff. I just haven't done that yet. You know, I don't...
You've tried some of it.
No, and I did. They send me little samples, and I like it. And I got some of their hair gel, and I loved it. I was like, man, I think I used to spike my hair up. I don't do it anymore, so I don't need it. But they have a lot of other things. But the main thing it was built on, the whole concept came from this guy saying, I'm sick and tired of running out of razors, and then now I got to shave, and I go to work without being shaven, and now I go to the store, and they got them all locked up, and they just make it hard to get razors, and it's a pain in the butt. And he's like, you know what? Somebody needs to solve this. And guess who did it, Heidi?
Who is that?
He did it. The founder of the Dollar Shave Club. He's like, I'm going to solve that problem. And he came up with this plan. For $1 a month, you get razors delivered to you. So actually, let me say that the right way. For $1 a month, you're a part of the program, and then it's $2 to get them shipped out. So I always just say it's $3 a month. That's the total amount. $3 a month delivered right to your door. How can you go wrong? Check it out. dollarshaveclub.com/radio. All right. Got to go here. I was going to share this during the show. The reason I didn't is I thought your head might explode.
Uh-oh.
All right. An 11-year-old boy, and this is from a couple years ago, so this isn't brand new. An 11-year-old boy and his friends were talking about the Sandy Hook shootings. This is shortly after that happened. The kid commented that he wished he had a gun so he could protect everyone from the bad guys. Mm-hmm. Bruce Henkelman of Huntington says his son, 6th grader at North Middle School in Owings, was talking with a friend about the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre when the bus driver hauled him back to the school to be questioned by the principal. The principal told me that what happened at Sandy Hook is... After that, if you use the word gun in school, you're going to get suspended for 10 days. Hinkelman said in the interview, what the boys said, according to his father, he neither threatened nor bullied anyone. He said, I wish I had a gun to protect everyone. He wanted to defeat the bad guys. That was the context of what he was saying. He wanted to be the hero. The boy was questioned by the principal, by a sheriff's deputy, who also wanted to search the family's house without a warrant.
Whoa, whoa.
We'd like to send, we're going to come over and check your house for guns. And they're like,
hell no.
Hell you are. You're not coming to my house. So they did not get to go in and search the house.
Oh, my gosh.
So all of that because the boy was saying, boy, that really sucks that terrible, awful tragedy happened.
Can you imagine how that would have gone down if that was our kid?
And the kid said, boy, I sure wish I was there.
I would have come unglued.
I would have done everything I could to stop that. And what an honorable thing for that young boy to say. It wasn't that he was saying, boy, I'd like to go out and shoot some people. No, he was saying, boy, if that happened in my school, it would be nice if you would be armed so you could actually stop the bad guys.
And I'll tell you another thing, my kid would no longer be riding that bus.
Yeah, I don't think mine would either. Hey, let's move on. Something else here. Interesting story here. A 300-pound woman attempted to steal a 16-pound frozen turkey by stowing the bird down her shirt. It did not work. You know why?
Why?
The frozen bird against her body caused her to go into a state of hypothermia.
Oh, I think we read this.
Did we?
Yeah.
And she collapsed in the grocery store.
Passed out.
I don't remember that. I think you might have read that online. All right. I did read that. Maybe I did read that. Yeah, I read that one too. Apparently, I copied and pasted some stuff that I already did. Moving right along, Carlos Herrera managed to elude police for a while, but time clearly was not on his side. He robbed a Reno, Nevada 7-Eleven store and managed to elude the officers on a very extensive manhunt. They even had a helicopter spotlight search going on. While hiding in a 40-foot spruce tree, his watch alarm went off. Police were standing right under the tree and heard the sounds.
Oh, my gosh.
As they looked up, they saw their guy. He'll be doing time as a result of his timepiece. So I guess you could say his watch alarm kind of left him out on a limb, Heidi.
Wow.
All right, that's going to do it for your bonus break. Brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.